Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another videos, another paid request, this time from Masi. Thank you so much for that. For those interested in requesting any type of videos, feel free to send it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. It could be any type of video, including a review or re-review of a movie, topic, a reaction, a commentary, a video DM let's try, a full playthrough, pretty much any type of video if you wish to. PayPal is usually the best bet, or join my Patreon. The links are in the info box, whether it's down there or over there or wherever YouTube puts it this week. Now, Mozzie wanted me to do not a commentary, but wanted me to do a reaction, not a reaction comment, but a thoughts on the trailer, the concept, the idea of Gladiator 2 coming out. Directed by Ridley Scott, starring a guy I've never seen before. I guess he's done some smaller independent films, probably hoping to be a big star after this. You also have Pedro Pascal, who was on the Last of Us TV show, Denzel Washington, among others. As this trailer plays out, where it's going to show images of the first Gladiator from the year 2000, where this kid saw this and was inspired by what he did, so it makes him want to do a similar thing, where he's going to get help from Denzel Washington to try to get at Pedro Pascal. And it is trying to be like a big epic movie. You see various battles of ships battling the city and vice versa, people fighting the Colosseum, even rhinos trying to stab people, which I like the detail of the rhinos with the blood on their horn and snout. It's trying to be very extravagant, but it reminds me of like Cleopatra back in the day. Like trying to be this big, expensive, historical epic. And while we see the spectacle go on here, it dumbfounds me with studios how much they want to burn money. How moronic and stupid and dumb and idiotic. This is why there's talks of companies like, what is it, Paramount? Or so, one of them being bought out by another company? Like you hear rumors of Paramount or someone being bought out. This is how 20th Century Fox got bought out by Disney, because they make stupid decisions like this that's going to be a big massive bomb and lose you a lot of money. The film itself, I don't care, because I'm not a Gladiator guy. Russell Crowe did a good job. I know I won Best Picture at the Oscars. It made some money. It cost like $100 million. And I think it made about 400 and some million worldwide. But that was almost 25 years ago. I'm sure there's a lot of people that like Gladiator, but they liked it for Russell Crowe and a film of its time. And of course, in that film you had lions, here you had rhinos, They even have the whole decapitation with the two swords, just like Russell Crowe did in the first movie. But let's go through all the things with this film. Number one, people don't know who the hell Paul Mescal is. Granted, I did. Not a whole lot of people go to the theater because of movie stars. But Paul Mescal, who the hell is he? Okay, you say, well, there's a lot of films that have an unknown person or a person that's done little things here and there. But they hopefully do a film, they become a big star after that. Okay. Granted, what I've seen, he doesn't seem like he has a stature of someone like Russell Crowe. even in, the first Gladiator, but okay. Number 2, Ridley Scott. He hasn't done anything, in my opinion, worth squat, worth a crap, since The Martian, which I liked with Matt Damon. He did Prometheus, well, before and after that, he did Prometheus and Alien Covenant. He has done historical dramas that did not do well, that flopped. Wasn't Ridley Scott the guy who did the Robin Hood film with Russell Crowe? Didn't he do that film The Last Duel with Matt Damon and Ben Affleck, and that was a big bomb? Like, the last film really, I know I've heard you complain about, I wish I would have directed Blade Runner 2049. I don't, because I like that film. And you probably would have screwed it up. Just like you screwed up Prometheus and Alien Covenant. Now, could Blade Runner 2049, it could use some editing? Yes. I know it's nostalgic, but I wish we could have heard some Vangelis music. In fact, I wish there was a project that someone, I don't mind the music, but like if someone took the Vangelis music and put it across Blade Runner 2049, the whole movie, I'd be curious to give that a look. I think some people have done it from certain scenes. But anyway, I like Blade Runner 2049. That was always destined to flop because even the first Blade Runner didn't do well. And I'm sorry, really, I don't think you would have done a better job. And I know this is going to shock people. I like that more than the first movie. I don't hate the first movie, but the first movie I like more for the visuals, the music, and Rutger Hauer. I don't hate the first Blade Runner, but I like the sequel more. I'm one of the few, so I know. Who cares what you think now? Well, good. I don't care. I'm going to be honest. So no one knows who Pedro Mescal is. Ridley Scott hasn't done anything worth his squad in a long time, except I would say The Martian I liked. Before that, I can't remember the last film I gave a crap about. People are not going to the theaters as much as they used to. That's why you see films like The Fall Guy didn't do well, and some other films didn't do well. Bad Boys 4 did well, to be fair, so you're going to have your exceptions, but there's a lot more films not doing well compared to other years because people get more used to streaming. They get more used to staying at home and watching on their computer or Netflix or Amazon or whatever the hell they have, legal or otherwise. Especially if a film is going to take that little time to go from there to streaming. Especially if it's a film that's getting longer and longer and longer. People say, what about Oppenheimer? Well, to be fair, Oppenheimer was part of that Barbie Oppenheimer meme thing, so people wanted to get in on it, get in on the trend, so they see both, and that was a thing, and people like, hey, let's have a fun adventure, we'll do this. So that definitely helped matters. But for that movie and that type of, I guarantee you there's going to be a 2.5, probably 3 hour movie. I would guarantee it. And for the amount of money this movie would have to make, it'd be a tough sell to think you don't make that much money. And it not being like a Marvel film or something. Yeah, no Oppenheimer. There's always exceptions to the rule. But that's why they're called exceptions. Because mostly they're the rule. Like this is going to bomb. That's the rule. Again, I know Gladiator may, won an Oscar, but I don't really hear people talk about the first Gladiator. And here's the thing, I haven't seen it in a while. I'm sure if I saw it again, I'd be like, it's not a bad film, it's just not a film I rewatch. To be fair. But that's the thing, I personally not big on historical epics. There are good ones, sure, or decent ones, sure, but they're not really my forte. And that's a lot of people too, at least wanting to pay to see in the theater for how much money and popcorn and soda, whatever the hell else it costs. And think of the history of how many historical epics have bombed in the past 20 years. Exodus, Gods and Teens. Didn't Ridley Scott, again, the last duel, Ben Affleck, Matt Damon, and Robin Hood, didn't he make a multiple? Even his fucking Christopher Columbus movie bombed. If people don't remember, Ridley Scott did a Christopher Columbus movie, supposed to be this period piece epic, and that bombed too. Here's an idea. I know Gladiator is the exception, but when you've had more of these films that were historical epics but bombed, like was it 1492 he did? I think, because the other one was with Tom Selleck in it. The one he did, I think Sigourney Weaver was in it, 1492, and Gerard Depardieu, I think, was, and that was done because of the anniversary of the founding of America and all that stuff. And anyway, that's why there's two competing movies. 1492 didn't, like, how many of these historical epics have to be made that bombed, and then you go, you know what, don't do any more of these. People in modern age don't care about seeing these type of movies. And then I hear that this has a $300 million budget. $300 million. How in the blue hell, red hell, yellow hell, green hell, all the colors of the rainbow hell, the Skittles hell, are you going to make the money to make this any amount of a profit? I mean, even at $165 million, it would be really, really sketchy. If it really ballooned up to $300 million, it'd be almost impossible for this film to make a profit of any merit. You put all this money into something, and a genre that's not known for success. Maybe back to the day, I forget, Ben-Hur, that stuff. Again, I know Gladiator came out and did well. That was an exception, not a rule. You also had Kingdom of Heaven. Again, Exodus, Gods and Teens. You have a lot more examples in the recent years of these type of films bombing. Not doing well. Did Troy do well with Brad Pitt? I don't know. I don't know for certain. But when you see that, again, even Ridley Scott, the last duel he didn't do well. I think Ridley Scott was complaining, well, how come people don't go see it in the theater? Da, da, da. But then you do the same thing here, and you give them a bigger budget. And then you wonder why studios didn't bought out. Fox got bought out by Disney, Paramount, whoever else might get bought out by Sony or someone else. Don't come to the point there's only 3 damn companies. Disney, Netflix, and maybe Amazon will stay in there because they got the shipping. Maybe Amazon and Sony will join together. Well, Universal, I guess, is doing its own thing. They'll be in the background just like doing this so that hope no one notices me. I don't want to get bought out too. So Universal will be the hidden 4th one. Shh! Don't tell them we're here. So you have a film that people haven't thought of in like 25 years, and obviously Russell Crowe's not going to be in it because he died in the first one. So you have a sequel that you don't have your main character actor in, of course. It's a sequel no one asked for. I don't know a single person that said, I want a sequel to Gladiator. I know there's that weird script that was written at one point that lasted for 5 minutes where Maximus like rose from the dead and like, was it the ending where he like went through all the ages of war and like landed at like the Pentagon? I would almost see that movie instead, because that'd be like so weird and crazy that I'd kind of be entertained by it, good or bad, whatever. But again, no one asked for a sequel, or very few. The actors, I like Denzel, but not enough to see the movie. The movie itself, it's like, okay, a bunch of like CG backdrops, fighting coliseums, a story I don't think doesn't seem that compelling based on the trailer. Or people go, oh, just go rewatch Gladiator at home. And the amount of money they put into it, and the amount of marketing I'm sure will be put into it, this film will bomb. And as for the film itself, it just doesn't appeal to me. This type of movie doesn't appeal to me. I don't think people nowadays really care about the historical epics of yesteryear. Again, you go through the history, whether they made money or not, from Clive Owen and King Arthur to again Troy, the Kingdom of Heaven. They think every one of these is going to be a Braveheart or a Gladiator. No, those are exceptions. You count one hand the exceptions in the past 20, 30 years, you find triple amount of bombs. And go, told you so. Could have warned you. But because they think this will be the Oscar-winning... It's like, okay, you can win as many Oscars as you want, but when people lose their jobs because you lost, $300 million or more, I'm sure the people who are leaving to collect unemployment go, thanks for the Oscar. Sally, I don't get it because I'm the guy that, second camera director or whatever, assistant cameraman. Well, hopefully they would get a job somewhere else, to be fair. So, I'm talking as if they work for the same studio. I don't know why I think of that. That's like an old-timey thing. Maybe because I'm seeing old-ass, wannabe, historical epics, so. But the lead guy doesn't do much for me, and the story... I've said why? Did people really want this? Were people really asking for this? No. The trailer, we have Gladiator at home. Lead guy doesn't seem like he has the presence. Pedro Pascal is slowly becoming one of those guys I'm getting tired of seeing, to be perfectly honest. The action scenes, it might have some decent fighting. It being R-rated is definitely going to be a tougher sell for them for the amount of money they want to make. I know I keep talking about how it's going to be a hit or not. Again, I think it's going to be a bomb. People go, well, what about the film itself? Like, whether it's a bomb or not? What do you think about the film itself? Like I said, it's just not appealing to me. Okay, you show images of Russell Crowe Gladiator. People just be, well, I'll just go rewatch that film instead. Denzel Washington, I'm sure, is like, hey, I get to sit around and shoot an arrow and do a few stuff. I get to be the guy on the side. Like, seemed like 30 years ago Morgan Freeman would have played this role. There you go, Robin Hood, Prince of Thieves, I like that film. That was a hit. Again, one of those few exceptions to the rule. The battle scenes, I mean, I could see the CGI fire. And it just takes me out of it. I know that's typical for these type of movies. It's just one of those things that you give leniency for so long, you just kind of get tired of giving leniency to it. Yeah, I could tell it's like CG, but I'll let it go. Yeah, I'll let it go. In the rhinos, it's like, well, we had lions in the first one, so let's have rhinos in this one. It seems like one of those movies that people would just be waiting for the gladiator battles. And when it's not, then you're just kind of like twiddling your thumbs, waiting for the next battle to begin. Also, seems like it's such a long trailer, they give away a chunk of the movie. Just if his plan is to kill Pedro Pascal, actually, I'm curious about something. Let me see where what Pedro Pascal is wearing at the end. Sorry for the silence. Let's do a little something here. Oh, okay, so he's got a bruise on his left eye. He's being attacked by our lead character here. He's got 2 swords. Now let me see a scene earlier with him, Pedro Pascal. Okay, yeah, in that scene you see his left eye isn't too bruised up, so I guess Pedro Pascal's going through his own trials and tribulations during this whole Coliseum thing. I mean, I know I mentioned Pedro Pascal's used a lot, but seems like even he would be much more interesting as the lead than this other guy. I guess, Pedro Pascal would be too old for it. I mean, I don't agree with some of Pedro Pascal's politics. I do like him as an actor. I liked him in The Mandalorian and stuff. So I know I said I said he's almost to the point I'm getting tired of seeing him, almost. But I watched the trail of the Gladiator. I'm like, Gladiator 2. I mean, I'm like, whatever. Okay, it comes out in November. Isn't that around like Sonic the Hedgehog 3? Well, actually, or is that December, Sonic 3? Yeah, this film is not going to do that well. It's not going to do that well. I think the audience going to see sword and sandal epic movies has been long dead for a good long while. Let me see what has come out with the last like 20 years. The drama epics. The Last Duel, Napoleon, which, how did Napoleon even do? I don't even know. And that was co-produced by Ridley Scott and directed by Ridley Scott. It cost 130 to 200 million and it made 221 million. So does this say how much money he lost? It would hinge on subscribers driven to Apple TV Plus and on-demand rentals and other revenue streams. Dean of Chapman University's film school stated, Apple making a $200 million movie is like you buying a cup of coffee and spilling it. But it's not making the brand look good if films like Killers of the Flower Moon and Napoleon underperform at the box office. I'm going to look at Ridley Scott's filmography. How many of these damn epics has he made? And how many of them have actually been successful? Napoleon? Nope. Let's see, he's done The Duelist, Alien, which is great. Blade Runner, I don't mind. Legend, yeah. Black Rain is great. Thelma and Louise. 1492, Gladiator. Black Hawk Down, I like. American Gangster, Prometheus. Oh, this is the films he that were nominated. These are the films he directed. Okay. Yeah, 1492, Gladiator, Kingdom of Heaven. He did Kingdom of Heaven. I forgot he did Kingdom of Heaven. And he did do Robin Hood with Russell Crowe. And he did all the films I mentioned, he did Exodus, Gods and Kings. He directed that too? Jesus. I didn't even realize. 140 to $200 million budget, made $268 million worldwide. That's a flop. Napoleon, Last Duel, Exodus, Gods and Kings, Robin Hood, Kingdom of Heaven. How many times does Ridley Scott have to make these kind of films and not do well before people go, stop it? My God. How many damn times, man? How many? How many? Oh my God, man. Well, with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. I didn't realize Ridley Scott made all those damn films that I mentioned. I'm like, well, no wonder. They all flopped. It was all from the same director. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye for now.